get ready to thrive loud with Lou Diamond.
Hey, Thrive Loud listeners, Lou Diamond here. A special mini-sode featuring Kindra Hall. Kindra's episode aired not too long ago, back in June of 2019, when we talked about stories that stick. The reason why we are launching this mini-sode today, September 24th, 2019, is because today is the day that Kindra Hall's book officially launches. There are links in the show notes so you can see directly how to get the book, which, based on pre-sales and early orders, looks like this thing is going to knock it out of the park. So way to go, Kindra. And later today, I'm actually heading over to the launch party. So we figured, wouldn't it be great to launch a mini-sode for Kindra today? In this mini-sode, we do a little bit different than what we normally did in the interview, but we plucked out a lot of the stuff that didn't have to do with business and storytelling, but actually have to do the stories that Kindra tells to her children. And also reference how her children have a profound impact on her life, even as to the way that she recorded this very podcast interview of Thrive Loud. Sit back, relax, and enjoy Kindra Hall here on Thrive Loud. I'll do my follow-up here. So you know the stories that you liked as a kid. What you have two very, very rambunctious, very cool young children. What do they like to hear from you?
They ask all the time. So there's two kinds of stories, I think, that they like to hear most. And the one they ask for, and that is stories about what my life was or what my husband Michael's life was when we were little. So my son will ask like, hey, buddy, that's what they call Michael. They call him buddy instead of dad. They'll be like, this is my dad, buddy. But there you go. They'll say, hey, buddy, what was the silliest thing you ever did? Or one time my son got a splinter and he was really upset about it because he was afraid of, he had a big chunk of wood sticking out of his foot and like didn't know what was going to happen. He's like, Mama, do you have a story of when you had a splinter? And they're trying to make sense of the world around them. And we all do that, right? But when you're 7, 6 years old, you're trying to do that even more. And so the more stories we can tell them about ourselves when we were children, the better sense they make of their own world. And they ask for it. But the second kind of story, they don't necessarily ask for, but it's the stories that we can tell back to them, right? Because we have these reoccurring things in our lives, like times where we overcame a challenge or when we chose to be brave or when something bad happened, but we were able to recover. And so we've been telling these stories back to our kids when they encounter a new experience that they're nervous about. We tell them a story of a different time they encountered a new experience and how it turned out. And I think I haven't tested, I don't have the research, but I feel like I'm onto something when it comes to parenting. I'm going to pat myself on the back right there.
So I think you're doing a great job. I'm going to jump to that later because I have some really fun things about that. We'll even relay the most newly acquired information I have on you as we set up for this recording, which we'll have some fun talking about. Be most descriptive and the best way to wrap up this podcast for you to describe your exact surroundings right now as you are recording this, because I got a chance to see what this looks like. And I think our listeners would appreciate it because this has got to be a first for Thrive Loud.
Well, I'm in a very fancy New York City studio. Right above me is my 8-year-old son's bunk bed. I've got his blanket hanging down to kind of deafen the noise. I'm sitting on a rug. We pulled some cushions off the couch to put behind me to kind of buffer it. And I've got here, see if you can you hear? Oh, wait, I think it actually, do you hear that?
I hear something. Yeah.
That is a toy dinosaur. It used to roar. But I think the batteries are dead, or maybe he turned it off. Wait, let's see if I can get it to, no. So there's the toy dinosaur. You just got to do what you got to do here, my friend.
You've been listening to Thrive Loud with your host, Lou Diamond. Make sure to subscribe on iTunes, Overcast, or wherever you get your podcasts. And follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Thrive Loud. Or find us on the web at thriveloud.com.